YouTube, what is going on? It is Gino Bonino, and it has been a while since I've done this. We are going to do a CGC unboxing. As you remember, about 2.5 months ago or so, I dropped off a bunch of comics at CGC. I actually drove down to Florida. I was going down there to visit Disney, decided to take a day trip across the state and drop them off. Went to their offices, and as it turns out, I didn't plan it this way, but as it turns out, I had 3 tiers of books. I had some modern age, which have already been graded and returned. I had some higher end books, Hulk 181 and Giant Size X-Men, which have already been graded and returned. They actually came real quick. And I showed those in a different video. And then we have, I guess, what they call kind of their basic or their budget tier books, and that's what these are. These are books that don't qualify as modern, but yet they're not super high-end either. They kind of fall somewhere in the middle. A lot of these are older. They're silver and bronze age books. So again, I kind of put them on with a basic, go ahead and do it when you can. I didn't put an expedited service or anything like that. And they did take a while, to be honest with you. Like I said, it's been about 2.5 months until these showed up. And as they were very forthright when I called them and asked about it, they said, look, we're running a little bit behind by this level of service. So you don't expect them right away. And they were right. So they showed up just today. UPS guy came, and like I said, I've taken a peek at them already just to make sure that what's supposed to be here is here, and that's what's in the box. So let's get right to it. Let's get the party started. First book in here is Iron Man Submariner 8.0. Book is right now, it's kind of one of those books that are undervalued, I felt. I had a couple of them. I decided to get them both graded. This one came at 8.0. I won't tell you about the next one. I'll show it to you. Again, my guess is when Submariner does first start showing to be a for certain character in upcoming movies in the MCU, my guess is this book will get a little bit more love than it has right now. Not a bad book by any means. Again, it's a 12 center. Anytime you can get a 12 center and mid-grade and up, I think it's well worth doing. So again, 8.0. This was the first time I think Iron Man 2 was featured in a standalone book as opposed to a team. Again, it's a good book to have for that for Iron Man fans. Another copy, like I mentioned, this one's 8.5. A little bit better book, a little higher quality, I guess. Yeah. Next one is the reason I got into collecting comics in the first place. This story, Spider-Man 121, 122, on a lot of people's collection list. Of course, being the death of Spider-Man's girlfriend, Gwen Stacy, and right there. And also it ends up being the death of his nemesis, the Green Goblin, as well. Again, this story just moved me, that's all I can say, and got me into collecting comics. I didn't think a comic book could make me feel like a movie or a TV show or something like that. It left a little lump in my throat, and this one did it, just because I kind of was, I thought there was no way in the world you're going to kill somebody in a comic book that was this important to the ongoing Peter Parker story and keep her dead. Now, as we know, it turns out that wasn't the case, but it was for many, many years. So, I mean, for all purposes, she was dead. And again, this is that book, 121, excuse me. Got 181 on the brain. And this is the second one, 122. This is the death of Green Goblin. And again, just one of the classic Spider-Man arcs, 2-book arcs that you'll find. Next is Captain America. I just gave it away. Number 100. Nice book to have. This is actually, though, even though it's named 100, it's actually it's the same as being on number 1. It's the first time that Captain America comes back after the Golden Age. Of course, the Golden Age, he was a Nazi hunter during World War II. Then he kind of laid low for a while. Then he came back in the Silver Age in his own book, and this is the first appearance of that in the, I guess, Silver, Modern Age, what have you. And again, just a classic cover, great book. Next is Spider-Man number 9. First, Electro. Again, was a little bit bummed in the way Electro was portrayed in his movie. But hopefully if he comes back again, they'll do him more justice the next time around. Great book. Again, just a classic Spider-Man book in 5.0. Mid-grade, pretty common. Next is Spider-Man 50 in a 4/5. First Kingpin, and just a classic Spider-Man cover. Beautiful book. Next is my first Green Label book I've ever gotten, and this was me being a little bit careless. If there's a lesson for other collectors here, it's make sure not only do a story count, but do a page count. I did a story. The story was complete. I looked through it. However, there must have been, I'm guessing, and probably somebody would know this, I'm taking an assumption here, there was a pinup in this book with an ad on one side and a pinup in the other. And it's missing page 12. So it says it missing page 12 does not affect story. So again, I'm guessing it's probably not an ad page, both sides. However, that's possible. I'm betting that if somebody knows this, down in the bottom, look in your Spider-Man number 9, or number 7, excuse me, and see what page 12 is. And my guess, again, is it's a pinup, or possibly, again, maybe just ad page. I don't know. But it's missing, so it came back as a qualified Green Label. Qualified means that there's a piece of this book missing, significant enough to where they can't really call it a complete book. If you've got a Marvel value stamp missing, for example, you'll get this same kind of thing. Even though it doesn't really affect the story or whatever, it's just still, they're letting somebody know, if you're going to be for this full disclosure to somebody, that it's missing a piece of the book. These last two are the biggest books in here. Quite surprised. However, I knew I was sitting on something nice. I didn't quite know how nice. Submariner number 1, 9/4, near mint copy. Beautiful, beautiful copy of this book. I have 2 of these as well. This one was the better of the 2, so I decided to get this one graded. My other one's a little bit rougher around the edges. But again, anytime you can get a near mint book for a 12-cent near mint book, it's a hell of a thing to do. It's a, again, and I mean this with all humility and everything. I'm just glad to have it. I'm just again, cool to have. I'm really happy. And here's another one, Hulk 180, 9/4 near mint copy. This book, again, it's gotten hotter. When I sent it in, it wasn't this hot. But since then, there's been some talk about whether this is actual first appearance of Wolverine or not. Again, in my book, it's the first appearance of Wolverine, but the first full appearance is 181. So again, to me, that's been already hashed out. But once again, to have this in the near mint 9.4 is a great thing to have. I'm happy it's part of my PC, and yeah, that's it. So those are my 10 books. So everything that I dropped off at CGC has been returned. Thank you guys for watching. I will talk to you later. Happy hunting. I'm headed to a con this weekend, so we'll see what goes on there. And I'll send you my report. And also, like I mentioned in my last video, I've got my key of the week all ready to go. I've got the ideas and what I want to say about it already done. And just got to shoot it. So I'll talk to you later, guys. Thanks for watching, and bye for now. Gino Bonino, we're out. Peace.